What's up, guys? Back with another video. Alright, so this video we're going to go ahead and discuss Shadowland, what characters to build for what floor, how to utilize your weaker roster, and use your strongest characters up in the top floors. So we're going to get into it real quick. Alright, as you can see, my best record is 190. Alright, so I usually don't push unless I feel like it. But as you can see, with stage floor 1 through 35, these are the characters that I use to clear 1 through 35, and I'm going to talk about how to build such characters for these stages. Alright, now there are 2 characters that I use that are transcended. That comes into play. But the rest of these are free to play. Most of them. Alright, so as you can see, floor 1, I use Gorgon. So like I said, most of these characters you have to somewhat build to where they're going to clear a floor. Alright, so we're going to look at Gorgon real quick. Alright, as you can see, kind of put really bad build. The only skills I have is like 3, 4, and 5, like upgraded, because 3 does have a buff. Okay. His typing is at least get their types to rank 4. The ISO 8 sets. Most time I have the right one, like Power Ranger, Hulk, or Overdrive, but at least give them whatever their ISO set is. At least give them the ISOs to awaken it. That way they can get the extra stats right here, as you can see. Don't give them a generic artifact, because that won't help at all. The custom gear, most of the time, characters either have like they're proc friendly or they're not. Most of the time I just give them like a proc obelisk or something like that, and most time they don't have a uniform. Alright, so with Gorgon, I gave him a 140 proc obelisk. Someone like Hulkling, I gave him a, you could say, a regen CTP, but it's an obelisk. As you can see, it has a crit rate, and when his HP is below 40%, he recovers 10% of his HP for 3 seconds on a 12-second cooldown. So it kind of works like a CTP. Alright, so with his, I gave him physical attack Uru because he deals physical. I haven't awakened none of his slots. All his skills are at 3 except for the 4th one. All his attacks are really generic, really. But like I said, I gave him that right there for like the HP. His ISO set stays 5 Power Ranger Hulk. So, but yeah, that's mainly what I usually do. Try to build up enough extreme obelisk. If you don't have any CTPs, build up enough extreme obelisk to make them work like CTPs. As you can see, I need to lock that. A double max HP 140 proc. Let's say, who could you use that on? You can use that on like a Hulk character. Who, like HP. A tier 2 character that would benefit from that. You could do like well, I would say Slapstick, but he's a paywall character. I don't know. You give it to somebody like Red Hulk or Gorilla Man or Phantom X, Dakin, someone like that. But we're gonna go through each floor to show you how I run my Shadowland. And what characters I use for each floor. So we're gonna get into it real quick. I could do auto progress, but I want to show you the best floors to pick. All right, so we're gonna enter Shadowland. Now you can see you have the three floors. You have Blast, Combat, and Speed. So I clear with Gorgon. All right, and we're going to go ahead and pick Gorgon. Knock this out. So like I said, you want to use your weakest tier 2 characters on the lower. As soon as you start Shadowland. As you can see, it's just no competition really. All right. Now on to the next. All right, we have Speed, Combat, and Blast. Now, it doesn't matter what floors you pick on the lower stages until you start getting up into the double digits. So if you need gearboxes, cool, you could pick either a Speed or Blast, or if you need Dimension Debris, pick the Combat. But like I said, I usually try to weed out the smaller tier 2s. All right, so I use Hulkling on this floor right here, and remember, he has kind of like a mighty, a CTP of regen with the obelisk, because he has 10% heal on that obelisk when his HP is below 40%. And most of the time he does, kill over, but he's doing actually really good right now. So, all right, nice. All right. Next floor, we've got Universal, Female, and Male Hero. Said I use Warwolf on this floor right here. Now, all my characters are level 70. You can at least get your characters at least 62 or 64. That way, and as you can see, I don't have a build on my Warwolf. He's very mediocre, but his ranking is rank 4. He has a stage 5 power rank Hulk. He has a recovery rate 140 proc obelisk, and he doesn't have a uniform. But if you do decide to build like most of your characters, at least give them physical attack or energy attack Uru. Depends on what they deal. So just at least give them Uru if your characters somewhat can't hack it. Alright, so got that done. On to the next one. Alright, so we have villains, formidable teams, and heroes. I usually go for the villains. That way, go ahead and start knocking them out. Now, I should have been doing this at first. Now, when you get to a villain floor or whatever, alright, as you can see the little tab to say all or descending. You want to click the all, and it has a whole list like heroes, villains, male, female, combat, speed, blast, universal, and unique abilities. So on the villain floor, you want to select villain and go to descending. That way it'll rotate the bottom of the list to the top. Alright, so as you can see, I do have a couple of speed villains that are tier 2, but I use them a little bit higher, and I'll show you which floors. So I just use Molten Man. Just go ahead and get him out of the way. Alright. So Molten Man is a free-to-play character. Most of these characters are free-to-play. So you don't have to like be FOMO'd into getting like a ball sub or anything to try to get other characters. I can show you who to substitute for those characters if you don't have them, at least tier 2. Now, most of the other characters are farmable in Dimension missions, but you'll have to give them like a 6-star mega rank up ticket and a tier 2 advancement. So, kind of be careful. But most of them can do it at level 60 without being tier 2. Like I say, you just have to give them a couple Uru, give them a full ASO set, at least 5 to 6 stars, at least, and a custom gear. All right, now you can see Molten Man is taking them all out, no problem. All right. Now, like for elemental characters, like Molten Man or whatever, just give them like for their obelisk. Let's say Molten Man, you need fire. You can give them that. You can give them a fire damage, max HP with a 12% heal. That would be perfect for something like Shadowland for Molten Man. Let's see. Hydro Man, you could give him something like let's see. I don't have nothing for if I had Hydro Man. I got something on him. I have to look, but all right. So the 5th floor, you got Heroes, Universal Villain, and Blast, and these give out biometrics. So you get biometrics every 5th floor. So 5, 10, 15, and then 25. So go with Blast, and like I say, you want to choose the category. Just go to Blast and hit the descending, and I use Deathlock. Now, Deathlock is mainly a combat character, but if you get his other uniform, I think for gold, he turns into a Blast, but you still have to give him physical attack Uru. Alright, so I do have some Blast characters I use, but I use Deathlock. Alright. As you can see, no problem there. Alright. Next. Alright, we're back on the Speed, Blast, and Combat. Now this is where you want to choose the comic cards. You got the ISO, the custom gear, and the comic cards. So if you're still using comic cards to reroll other cards or crafting, always go for the comic cards no matter what. So I'm gonna go with combat, and as you can see, I use Killmonger. But if you go to combat, you can farm Killmonger from the Dimension missions. But if you don't have Killmonger, you have other choices like White Tiger. Dakin is free. You can farm him. I think Red She-Hulk is. No, she's a paywall. You have Goliath, Red Hulk, Man-Thing if he's not transcendent. If most of these characters are not transcendent, then you can definitely use them. But like I said, Killmonger, you can definitely farm him. I'm gonna go ahead and use White Tiger for this one, even though I use her on a higher floor. I want to go ahead and just switch it up. All right. All right, nice. Got my comic card. All right, now we have Blast, Villain, and Hero. So I would choose Villain, and I use Klaus because of the type advantage or whatnot. And the bio selectors you do get, you can use those to like work on other free-to-play characters that you need for like other Shadowland floors or so on and so forth, or rank up their uniforms. That's what, 225 a week. So after every reset, you get 225 bios. No problem. Okay. Next, as you know, the universal female and male heroes. I'll go with the female. Just go ahead and get that out the way with Daisy Johnson. Just go ahead and use her. Like I said, I always use the weak characters first. Always use your weak characters. Oh, what kind of obelisk I got? I gave her a mini rage obelisk. Alright. Got that done. Alright. Next, the fourth stage, or the ninth floor. We have all 3 villain floors, as you can see. But one of them with Red Skull, those enemies reflect physical attack. So you have to use a villain with energy attack for those floors. But I'll go against Cap, Red Skull, Sin, and Crossbones. I always go with that floor. Then I use Maximus. Let's go ahead and just use him. In which I could have used him on the other Red Skull floor, but I just went with this one. And he only has like a 120 proc obelisk. He's not proc friendly, as you can see, but he still does a good job with the, clearing this floor. All right, once I get to the 10th floor, I'm going to skip a couple floors to show you the differentiation on how to choose what floor you need to work on. Well, what character you need to work on each floor. So we're going to go to stage 10. Now you have speed, villains, and combat. Well, you have blast. I'm sorry. Speed, blast, and combat. All right, so I always go for the speed. And I use Bobby Morris right here. Let's go ahead and use her because the speed characters, they reflect energy damage and she deals physical. So that's perfect. Get them out the way with that. Like I say, you just got to take a good look at your characters. Make sure what kind of attacks they deal, like physical or energy, and give them the right Uru. Now, most of the older characters, like Bobby Morris and them, Daisy Johnson, all their uniforms, I think cost gold. So you can definitely buy their uniforms and upgrade them and give them extra stats like physical, all attack, dodge, all defense, stuff like that. So, alright. Next floor, same thing. You'll want to go for the comic card. We have what electric based attacks won't work on the Asgardians. You have flame elements won't work on Ghost Rider and them, and then you have the poison elements won't work. So you have all elements: electric, fire, or poison. If you don't, well, the poison part, you definitely want to use a comic card. Like I said, I use Karnak on this one, but if you wanted to, you could use a combat character. You could use somebody like Crossbones or another free-to-play. If you don't have them transcended, don't use no transcendence on lower floors. But if you don't have them transcended, you can use somebody like Warpath or somebody that doesn't have a uniform. In which Crossbones has one, but still. We have what? Sandman, Hogun, Volstagg. If you don't have them transcended. Who else? That's kind of weak. Rhino, somebody like that. But I cleared it with Karnak. So It's up to you who you use. You can use like a type advantage, so combat character will work. But like I said, as long as they're not transcended or tier 3, use them. Use the transcendent and tier 3 characters only for higher floors. Alright, so Karnak is pretty much having a rough time right now. He can take out at least Scorpion. Okay, nice. He took out both of them. Okay. Which they all deal poison. So, and then he's fixing to go. Yep, there it is. So, as you can see, he can clear it because he wouldn't have to clear it on above his name if he didn't. But, like I said, sometimes just depends on how you build them. As you can see, he has a stage 6 overdrive. He has a 140 proc obelisk. Now, I could give him one with a heal. It just, like this right here, recovery rate, and recovers 8% of HP. Which I could go ahead and do that because that crit rate dodge 140 proc obelisk is not going to cut it. So, we're just going to go ahead and give him that. That way he can heal if he needs to, be done with it. So we're going to go back in and see if that works. So if your characters are dying off easy and you do have any extreme obelisk like with a heal on it, give it to them. That way they can at least stay alive a little bit longer in the fight. Alright, he got done with that a little quicker. Alright, he's not losing any HP, which is very nice. Okay, no, that was pretty good. Pretty good. Alright, so go ahead and get through these other floors. So once they get to like floor 20 or whatever, then you'll see what characters you use. Almost forgot. Once you get to stage 12, this is where you need to like maintain just getting gold. If you're low on gold, pick a stage with gold. That's it. So we have the Asgardian floors, but we got a super villain. Ice elements won't work in heroes, but always choose the double gold and be done with it. As you can see, I used Ghost, which you can farm from the Dimension mission. But like I say, if you don't have her, go to super villains. Just pick a speed character. They go a lot quicker. Got what, Black Cat, Viper's free to play. Baron Mordo's a paywall. Everybody should have a spot for free. Korath is free. Vulture, Craven, Bullseye. If you don't have anybody else tier 3'd, you can use Sin. You can definitely do that if you don't have any of them tier 3 or whatever. So, like I said, just go with the floor with the double gold. That way you can go ahead and stack your gold up every week. Alright, once you get to stage 17, as you can see, you have tier 2 mats. Alright, so we have Black Antimatter, double gold, and gold and Chaos Normstones. If you need the gold, then go with the double gold, but I would rather you go with the Black Antimatter, because you definitely want to use that to tier 2 more characters, like at least once or twice a week. So we have what, Speed, Villain, and Flame. So like I said, I'll go with the Black Antimatter. So you need Speed character. Like I said, you want to go to the list and go to Speed and flip the order over. So I'm going to use the weakest characters for that. So I use Agent 13 for this floor. So you definitely want to go for at least the black antimatter, or if you don't have a lot of gold, then you can go for the double gold floor. So yeah, never choose the Chaos Norn stones. They don't give you enough to justify any of the floors. Alright. Alright. And then we'll go again. We have hero, villain, and universal villain. Now the hero, as you can see, I chose Misty Knight. She cleared it with no problem, so that was really good. I think I gave her a cold damage, proc obelisk. Yeah, cold damage 180 proc obelisk. Because for some reason she does deal cold damage. I don't know why, but it is what it is. But she did pretty good. But like I said, if you have like one with HP on it, you could definitely give it to her. That way it would keep her from, getting knocked out or whatever. As you can see with Wiccan, Wiccan is a monster. So, alright. She took Wiccan out, no problem. Alright, there you go. Okay. Now we have the formidable team, villain, and hero floors. Now the formidable teams, they're all energy based. I use File of Veil because she has a reflect, so she doesn't take any damage on this floor, and she is free to play from the Guardians of the Galaxy Epic Quest. You can farm her bios, so she is a really good character. So I use her if you want to use somebody like for reflect, or you could use I wouldn't say Destroyer because he only has like 4 attacks. Icon is really good. She's free to play if you don't have her Transcendent. So either her or File of Veil. So as you can see, she's barely taking any damage. Barely, because of the reflect. So that's really good. And she does have a heal. So you can just give her like a damage proc obelisk or whatever, and she can get it done just like that. Alright, now stage 20 is where you get a little bit higher in the mats. Alright, we use hero, and I use Cassie Lang. You can get Cassie from the legendary battle. She's a paywall character, so you'll get her at 1 star. You can give her rank up tickets or a 6-star mega rank up ticket, get her to 60, and most of these characters, like I say, you don't have to give them to tier 2 at least. Just give them, attack Uru or whatever, and then they could just make it work for you. Alright. There we go. Alright. Alright, as you can see, we have 3 floors that just have $500,000 gold. So you have Flame, Speed, and Blast. Now you can use Hydro Man for the Flame floor. As you can see, he could do that no problem. But I usually go with the Speed. Just go ahead and get that over with. I use Hellcat. As you can see, enemies that reflect energy damage, and Hellcat deals physical. So make sure you read every text if you do a Shadowland floor. That way you won't take a enemy with energy attacks in there and they're getting one-shotted. So, or vice versa with the physical attack. So there you go. Hellcat knocked that out. No problem. Okay, that's $500,000 gold right there. Alright, now we're getting ultimate boosters, or superior boosters. I just use combat. You can use what is it, crossbones or M'Baku, Dakin, Red Hulk, so on and so forth. Just depends on who your combat character is you want to use. As long as it's just tier 2. Alright. Alright, next on to the next 23. Alright, they have ISOs, so it doesn't matter what floor you choose. You choose Blast, Hero, or Combat. I'll just go with the Blast. I'll choose Songbird. Just like I said, you want to get all the weaker characters out of the out on the field. Alright. We got custom gears. It's only like 4 to, I think it's 5 to 6 stars or 5 stars. Either which way, you have speed, villain, and flame. I just go with the flame. The villain. That way, go ahead and use whiplash. So, like I said, you want to get all those weak characters out of the way. So, when you start getting up to higher floors, they will have to at least be 62 or 64 to at least, defeat most of the bosses. If they're just regular tier 1 characters at level 60, at least go to like floor 1 to 10 at least with those characters. So, on stage 25, that's when you get the comic card. I use Phantom X on this floor just because X-Men theme. Phantom X is really good. He's free to play. You can farm him from the Deadpool Epic Quest. I gave him a Invincible Guardbreak Immunity Obelisk because he has a self buff. He has a self heal. So, and he's really quick also, as you can see. Alright. Got that. Alright, now this is where you get the Shadowland chest or the Daredevil chest. I always go for the Daredevil chest except for one of the floors. But anyway, the Daredevil chest has extreme boosters, gold, ISO, fully awakened ISO, 3 to 6 star, Uru in those, and the other chests have comic cards and obelisk. So if you need the comic cards or the obelisk, hidden tickets or uniform kits, then you can go for either one on the outside. But I usually go for the ones on the inside. I use Dakin in this one. Like I said, he's free to play from the Dark Avengers Epic Quest. You can farm his bios too. Him and or Ares. So get that out the way, and you get level 3 uniform chips, which are nice. Okay, Now we got what, Dormammu and all the Doctor Strange characters right there. So I use, and they're energy damage immunity, so you can't use any energy damaging characters. I use Kid Kaiju. He deals physical and flame, but you can definitely farm Kid Kaiju in the dimension missions also. Most of the premium characters or whatever just need the 5 bios to unlock, and you can use rank up tickets, like I said, on those characters. Now, with like most of these weak characters, let's say you're farming dimension missions or epic quests with boosters, and you get a CTP of Transcendence or Patience. Majority, you can give those weaker CTPs to characters like Kid Kaiju. You can like smash them together and make a mighty, and just go ahead and just give them like the Kid Kaiju or Moon Girl, so on and so forth like that. So if you do have a bunch of Transcendence or Patience, in which a Patience is on the line of like a PvP CTP. Do I even have a Patience? No, I do not. Just want to do a quick little. Alright, so where Kid Kaiju? There he is. Alright, so with him, as you can see, I gave him a Mighty Transcendence, and he has the penetration on it. As you can see, he does have reflect all attacks, invincible, and damage reduction from reflected effects by 30%. So I gave that to him. Just went in and got out the way. Or does anybody have a Patience? I think Destroyer has one. Alright, I gave him a Mighty Patience. As you can see, he has Defend. It creates a barrier that ignores cancel and pierce effects. It recovers HP. It has dodge, attack, all attack, damage reduction also, invincible, and reflects all attacks. So these CTPs are useless in most game modes, but for Shadowland and stuff like that, for like lower base characters that you're having trouble with, you can definitely give it to them and just, use them like that. So, definitely if you have a bunch of those, just go ahead and just smash a bunch of them together, get a couple mighties, and, just give them to like kind of weaker characters. Alright, so like I said, with stage 28, I could have used supervillain universals. Go to universal. And the only supervillain I do have is like Nimrod. So I don't use Nimrod on that floor. So that's why. And there's not that many universal villains that that are, tier 3 or transcendent or whatever. So I'll go to Blast and I'll use Wiccan. Just go ahead and just use Wiccan. He's very strong for this floor. All right. Stage 29, we have the Black Order. Now I use Singularity. Singularity, I gave her, as you can see, a recovery HP by 8%. So a little mini regen. Like I said, you definitely want to get their type enhancement at least to rank 4. Give them a good ISO set, which I gave her a fully maxed out Hawk's Eye. I know. All her skills at level 3. She has a 5-star energy attack Uru. So she does get the job done. So you don't have to fully awaken her ISO. You can just awaken most of them. But I just went ahead and awakened all of hers because her defenses are really, really low. So I at least want to use her for like when now back then I had her like what? I had Dr. Voodoo do this floor before he got his Transcendence. And when he got his Transcendence, I kind of swapped him out to go up to higher floors. So once you start getting Transcendent characters, you'll definitely want to swap them out with weaker characters and have the Transcendent characters do higher floors for your roster. Except for floor 31 or 32 and 34. Now those are the ones that if all your characters from that one are Transcendent, then use the weaker one and I'll show you what I mean. Alright, as you can see, her HP was below like 40% and she healed up pretty good. So that kept her in the game. Alright, as you can see, she's still healing, which is very nice. Okay. There you go. So those the extreme obelisks do well if you like pair them up with different characters. All right, now stage 30 is when you start getting to the difficulty of the floors. We have Black Animator and Chaos Nornstones with Universal, Heroes, and Villains. I just choose the villain floors. I use Abomination. Now, if you don't have Abomination from the chest from the Dimension missions at the very bottom, then you could use somebody like Minerva. If you don't have these characters tier 3 or Transcendent, you can use Scourge, Minerva, Lizard, something like that. You can use like Lizard, Sandman, and Rhino, like the Spider-Verse character. You could use something like that because it is like a battle mode floor. But like I said, I use Abomination because he's really the only tier 2 villain combat I think that I had. No, yeah. Alright. And if we ever have a sale or whatever, don't get these characters for like a whole bunch of crystals. Just try to get them for free. That's a lot of crystals to be spent on Danger Room characters that are just for Shadowland. So just be very aware of what you get in the game. Alright, floor 31. Now, this is where you got what? Blast, Speed, and Combat. And you get X-Men mats. Now, the Blast and the Speed are kind of tough. So, I choose a Combat floor. And I use M'Baku. So, you can get M'Baku for free from the Legendary Battle. But you definitely got to have him tier 2. At least 62 or 64. It doesn't matter. With a decent build or whatever. So you definitely need that. And kind of obelisk he has. He has a 140 proc obelisk. And everybody should have his artifact because they gave it to us for free, I think. So, and if you do have a certain character's artifact, make sure you give it to him. So, just not a generic 1 to 3 star artifact. If they have their own artifact, give it to them. Alright, stage 32 is the Spider-Verse uniform. Uniform. the Spider-Verse floor. Now, how you want to do that, you want to go to all, then you want to go to unique abilities, go over, and you got 5 types. You have Flame, Machine, Mind Resist, Phoenix Force, and Spider Sense. Now, the character with Spider Sense has advantage in these floors. Now, you want to choose Spider Sense, and you have 8 of them. You have a Rat Knight, Spider-Man Miles, Scarlet Spider, Spider-Man 99, 2099, Gwenpool, Spider-Gwen, Silk, and Spider-Woman. I use a Rat Knight just because, in which I could use Silk because she is kind of the weaker of the Spider-Verse characters. And you know what? I'll probably go ahead and do that. I usually use a Rat Knight because he has pretty fast awakening. But right now we'll go ahead and just use Silk. But if you use Silk, she has another uniform, the web suit. But right now she has her Summer Days uniform, which is like her best one, but it is for money. So just be very careful of which character you choose to fight. So now if you do have her transcendent, then that's fine. As you can see, she's transcendent. That's one out of the 2 characters I do use for these floors, because all the Spider-Verse characters are either transcendent or tier 3. So alright, now we got 33. And now we have hero with fire abilities can do that floor. Non-mutant characters for that floor with Scarlet Witch. And we have villains with mind resist or machine types for Enchantress. I always go for a Scarlet Witch. That way I can get the Uru. And I use Viper. So Viper is a free-to-play character. She just uses biometrics. You can definitely give her, as you said, I gave her a dodge, poison damage, mini rage, proc obelisk. I think I had one. Okay, I had a 180 proc obelisk. I don't know if I had one with the heal on it. No, I did not. No, I did not. So, but she can definitely do it. It just sometimes it takes a while. So, alright, I'll choose Viper just for the type advantage. And like I said, it has to be a non-mutant character for that stage. Just because of, comic galore. Because you know how Scarlet Witch said no more mutants. So, you can't use any mutants on this floor. Alright, as you can see, Viper does hit pretty hard. Alright, so now we can go with that. And stage 34 is where you need the Phoenix Force characters. Alright, so like I say, we're going to go to unique abilities and go to Phoenix Force. Now we have Kid Omega, Jean, Cyclops, Rachel, Thane, Hyperion, Hope. Now you do have some more. You have like Colossus, Captain America, and Wolverine if you have their Phoenix Force uniforms. So, but always use Kid Omega. So just be clear with that. Just use Kid Omega. Kid Omega is really good for this floor. He was always the best, really, if you think about it. Because all these, you want to go a little bit higher in the floors with those. And like I said, if you do have them transcendent, go ahead and just use them. Get it out the way. Alright. And now stage 35 is where we come to the end of Shadowland. Alright, so it's Daredevil, and I use Gorilla Man. Gorilla Man is a free-to-play character. Also, use biometric to get him. So if you want to, you can use the biometrics you get from Shadowland to unlock Gorilla Man. And he's really good, so he's a really good tier 2 character for Shadowland. So like I said, you can use all the biometric selectors just to like unlock these free-to-play characters like Gorilla Man, Hydra Man, Molten Man, Viper. Trying to think of other exclusive free-to-plays. Icon. Characters like that, you can use these biometrics to unlock and rank them up. So just letting y'all know. And that is it for Shadowland stage 1 to 35 and the characters that I use. So as you can see, go back with these. Alright, so they did not switch over because they'll reset next week. So these are mainly the characters you should work on at least from floor 1 to 35. So we have Gorgon, Hulkling, Warwolf, Molten Man, Deathlock. If you have Killmonger, that's cool. Killmonger, Klaus, Daisy, Johnson, Maximus, Bobby Morse, Karnak. If you have Ghost from the Dimension missions, also you can work on Ghost, Lash, White Tiger, Goliath, Yellow Jacket, Agent 13, Misty Knight, Follow Veil, Cassie Lang, Hellcat, Crossbones, Songbird, Whiplash, Phantom X, Dakin, Kid Kaiju, Wiccan, Singularity. Now you can, like I said, you can go with another villain for that floor number 30. If you don't have Abomination, just let it be a combat character. You can use Crossbones in that one if you wanted to. Let's see, did I use Crossbones already? Yeah. So you can like swap out a combat hero with that floor. It doesn't matter. But if you do have Abomination and Abomination, if you don't, you use like Crossbones or any combat villain that you have, you can definitely use for that floor. We have M'Baku, a Rat Knight or Silk, one of the two. And I know a Rat Knight now is for crystals, in which he was crystals before, but now he's double the crystals for a tier 2. So you could use Silk for the Spider-Verse floor if you don't have a Rat Knight. We have Viper, Kid Omega, and Gorilla Man. So those are the characters that you should at least try to work on from floor 1 to 35. So hit me in the comment box down below. Let me know what y'all guys think. Make sure you smash that like button. And if you are farming Shadowland every day, try to get that hit that personal goal. Good luck to you. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.